One of my all-time favorite songs because, right, I was just talking about Dreams by the Cranberries the other day, right? And basically, that song is what it was like to grow up in the 90s in Ireland, I think. It's like, and during the Celtic Tiger, just that, something about that song. Was it on all the time? I think it just sums up like the buzz that was going on then. Like, if you want to think of the Celtic Tiger times, right? So you listen to Dreams, think of men in suits, eating Chinese food, drinking pints, smoking fags, and having kind of big bellies. We need to make an intro for this podcast thing that we're doing, or whatever this is. What even is this? What is this? Live stream. It's like a bit of music. It's kind of a bit of shite talk. A lot of input from ye guys, which I think ye kind of really make it, because it's a lot of weird stuff goes on in the chat. That's quite inspiring, right? And so I think I need like an intro. I was thinking getting some cool intro music. Maybe I should walk in, from the back, open the door, come in, walk in, start talking. We need like a kind of jazz music maybe, or something. Or kind of like old style fucking show music, right? I was looking at some funny ones the other night. I like the idea of like 1960s sort of American talk show music. I think that'd be pretty cool. Live, coming to you live from Port Arlington, County Laois, the land where reality, a place where reality. No, wait. Coming to you live from Port Arlington, County Laois, on the fringes of reality, the Calvin Doyle Show. And then I'd be like, but I don't really have enough space to do like a walk in here, really. I should do a walk in anyway for everyone. But I don't know. I might be going over the top on it there. We could blow our budget with that, huh? I have one bad hero's name, with McAlpine and Castaigne, with Fitzpatrick, Murphy, Ash, and Whippy's gang. Well, I'm often on the road, on me way to draw the dough. Well, there's nothing left to do for Johnny Lang. Well, I used to think that God made a mixer, pig and ham, so that Paddy might know hell above the ground. I've had gangers big and tough tell me tear it all out rough when you're building up and tearing England down. I remember Carrier Jack with the heart upon his back, and he swore one day he'd set the world on fire. But his face was never seen since a shovel cut it clean through the middle of a big high-tension wire. Well, I saw the balls macaw from a big flyover wall in the concrete mixer spinning round. And although it was not his intent, he got a fine head of cement when he's building up and tearing England down. I was on that hydro dam the day that Pat McCann got the better of his stammer in a week. He fell from a stuttering jam at a poor old stuttering man. He was never, ever more inclined to speak. And no more like Robin Hood, he would roam through Cricklewood or dance around the pubs of Camden Town. But let no man complain, for no Paddy dies in vain when he's building up and tearing England down. In a tunnel underground, a young Limerick man was found. He was built into the new Victoria line. And when the pouring gang stick out through the concrete cast, was his face of little Joe Devine. And the ganger man McGurk said the Paddy ate the word when the main gas burst and flew off on the ground. They swear he said don't slack, won't be long until I'm back, when I'm building up and tearing England down. So come all you navvies bold who think that English gold is just waiting to be taken from each side, or that the likes of you and me could never get an OBE or a knighthood for good service to the heart. Then the concrete master race to keep you in your place, and the ganger man to kick you to the ground. If you ever try take part of what the bosses make, when you're building up and tearing England down. If you ever try take part of what the bosses make, when you're building up and tearing England down. There you go, building up and tearing England down, lads. Squee, what's going on with this movie? That's the Mary Walpers, lads. A fucking beautiful song written by Dominic Bean, I believe. But sometimes that's disputed about whether or not Dominic Bean wrote certain songs. My old lad plays in Temple Bar, you know, and he was telling the story about Dominic Bean wrote The Old Triangle. Now, it might not have been that song, it might be in a different one, I can't remember. But then someone in the crowd in Temple Bar got him, he did not write that. So there's this dispute that he didn't actually write it, it was just given to him. And this lad was writing a book on it or something, so he got like in a kind of, you know, my old lad was like, oh, right, what did happen? And my old lad was, they were doing a show, like, you know, my old lad was like, I wish he would have just said it like after, he didn't have to stand up. Like a town hall meeting, standing up. He did not write that song. That's what it's like here, though, in Ireland. I don't know if it's like that everywhere else. Like, do you know, lads, when you're in the pub or something and you'd say something like, it could be something about football or it could be something about anything in the town, and then someone would be like, he didn't do that. That was Jerry Lawler who did that, or whatever. I don't know if he's telling you about this before, but there is a witch-like lady that hangs out by the river down where I live, the Barrow River. And I've talked to her a few times because I pass by. She's always like, I'm not sure what age she is. She's an elderly lady. I've talked to her a few times. And what I find very strange about her is she always knows what the weather is going to be like. And she's always right about it as well. Every single time I talk to her, she predicts when it's going to be raining and when it's going to be hot or when it's going to be windy. And it's like on the button every time. It's very strange, okay? But anyway, she kind of just sits down by the river. And I've known her all my life. And I believe her name is Betty. But they call her Sweaty Betty, they used to call her. From Dangan. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually where she's from. But she's not from the town. She comes in. And she brings around with her a sort of an old pram, you know, like an old pram, a child's pram. And she'll walk the pram around town. Really old, like the one out of The Omen or something, or you know that movie The Untouchables, the pram that is falling down the stairs, real old one like that. But she doesn't actually have a child in it. What she carries around it is meat. She gets meat out of butchers. So I looked in it one day. It's all meat in the buggy. And she doesn't anymore, but she used to have a man with her. And everyone would call him Monkey Man. And I don't really know why. All I can really think is on account that he kind of resembles a monkey in a way. But he used to kind of shuffle around her, but he seems to be gone now. I'm not sure where he is. And that's all I really know about her. There's a few urban myths about her, you know. One of the lads said to me that they saw her. She went into the pub one day and she drank 20 pints. It was grand, not a bother on her. And then there's others says that she's very rich, but she chooses to live that way. But anyway, she's very strange. And the other thing she knew was that my wife hurt her knee. You know, she had to go for surgery on her knee. And she knew that as well, and I never said it. I don't presume that she would be looking at stuff online, you know, so... Squee, all right, we're going to do Squee. I'm going to tell you what Squee's movie idea is, right? Squee is a big part of the community here, right? And we're going to explain his movie here, right? So let's listen to this. It's quite surreal. It's set in a semi-dystopian future, and it's called Cow Consort. And it's about a man whose job is to get cows to mate. But he doesn't think that he's very good at it. He also sees the cows as people in cow suits. There is a love story between the main character and a woman that'll be playing out throughout the story. Well, you know what? Sounds good. I like the idea of it. I think when you come out to the love story, when you get to the love story part, right? So I love everything. When you get to the love story part, I'm kind of like, who gives a fuck, right? Make the man have a love. He should be in love with a cow, one of the cows. That will make it a million times better, right? Because they're like love story. You know what I mean? Fuck the love story between another woman. Have him in love with the cow. Don't have any other people in it. Have him money talk to people on fucking radios, transistor radios. He's out in the middle of a fucking dystopian world, right? We don't know where he is, but there's millions of cows. And he's just actually in love with one of the cows who is going to be sent off to be murdered or something, or killed. Let's say the cow is going to be killed. He doesn't want that to happen. So his love for the cow makes him try to bring down the empire of that. It'd be epic. And then all people are like, what are you doing, Johnny? Maybe like a fucking hologram, and he's like he's pulling out the wires of the TV. He'd be pulling out like the radio wires. Get the fuck these lads, and then he's just like breaking up all the shit that they're controlling the cows with, and then like he lets all the cows out. It'd be quite epic. I love it. Brilliant. That could be a feature movie as well, though. I'm feeling. Oh fuck. I'm feeling happy. Where are we going? I'm feeling happy. There we go. I'm feeling happy. I feel so sad. I've lost the best friend I've ever had. She was my baby, I love her so. But it's too late now, I've let her go. We're going through changes. We're going through changes. We shared the years, we shared each day. I love you, baby, but I found my way. I know the world is an evil place. My baby's grown now, she's found a way. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes. It took so long to realize, and I still hear his last goodbye. Now all my days are filled with fear. I wish I'd go back and change the years. We're going through changes. We're going through changes. We're going through changes. I tell you what, right? I always liked Ozzy Osbourne, right? I thought he's cool. He's funny too, right? Funny guy. I always thought he had a really good philosophy in life. But when I was younger, when they had this show out, they really took the piss out of him with the show. Like they made him look like kind of some kind of mental guy, like idiot sort of guy, right? And I'm just kind of like, now that he's died, you know, I've went and listened to a lot of his music because I don't know, I just was enjoying listening to it, and I liked it. It's some man, his music is amazing, and it's so influential on so much. I just never ever listened to it. No one ever prompted me to listen to it. I feel like in Ireland or something, it wasn't big, especially when I was growing up, it wasn't big. He was just seen as this kind of joke guy. I'm like, he's not a joke at all. He's a fucking legend, absolute legend. Beautiful music, really, really fucking authentic voice, and I just like his philosophy when it comes to art and creating things. So, that was my view on Ozzy. I'm flat listening to him now at the moment. I was thinking the other day, right, that when I was working in a pub, right, I remember really late one night I was closing up, and so it was closing time, and no one was in, so it was like 2 a.m, and then the phone rang out in the pub, right? And I always thought this phone was like a fake phone. Like, I didn't know it still worked even. It was like a pay phone, you know, you put money in it. talking it, yeah. So I didn't even know that it was a real phone, right? And I started ringing, so I was like kind of spooked out by it. So I was kind of freaked out, and I was like, what the fuck? So I let it ring for a second, and I was like, fuck it, I may answer it. So I walked out, answered the phone, and it was this guy here, right? This older guy that used to drink in the pub. He's like, Calvin, is this Calvin? And I was like, yeah, why, who's this? And then he told me his name. Let's say his name is Joe. It's Joe. And I was like, what's up with you? He's like, I'm after being at a party out in Bracknell. I'm fucking locked. I don't know where I am. Can you ring me a taxi? And then I was like, how can I ring you a taxi? Where are you? And he goes, I left the pub and I went walking, and I don't know where I am, but I'm on the road to Bracknell somewhere. I can't. And then it just went like beep, beep, beep. And his phone went dead or died. So I tried to do a recall thing on it, like there's a recall, but I don't think it worked. And then he's like, oh fuck, he's like stuck out. So Bracknell is like really far away, like fucking dirt, like it's way out and pitch black out. There's no lights or anything. He would have been out in the middle of fields and everything. And he's like, fuck, this lad's fucked. So I rang the taxi office and told them, and they were like, where is he? And I said, he's just on the way out to Bracknell. And they're like, we'll find him, I'd say. And anyway, then I went home and I was kind of worried about him. But next day then I just saw him cycling his bike downtown. So I found him. Mad bastard, though. So I'm helping my cousin Ryan. I'm directing my cousin Ryan's film, right? My cousin Ryan wrote a film. It's called The Bog Monster. And we're shooting it next week. And I'm directing it. And we're going through it the last few days, trying to, you know, when you write a short story, you have to translate for cinema too, for visuals, and how to make visuals impactful, right? And one thing that I love doing, right, and I learned it from Ernest Hemingway, right? I'm not sure if you're familiar with the iceberg theory how he writes, okay? So basically, trying to find a pen here, right? So basically, if we think of an iceberg, right? If we think of an iceberg, only the tip of the iceberg is ever really above water. So the idea of the iceberg theory is that Hemingway will only tell you a little bit of what he is. So he will create a whole story, a massive, massive story. He's writing backstories, he's writing the reasoning behind things, he's writing the backstory of all these sub-characters, different characters that there may be in the film. But when it comes to creating when it comes to creating the final novel, he realized the audience don't need to see that really. He was always trying to simplify things down. It goes back to actually what we were talking about earlier, like the more raw and simple something is, it's more pure. So he was always simplifying it down to what exactly the reader really need to know. So he would take out loads. He would take out motives, he would take out backstories, he'd take out reasoning, he'd take out all that stuff and only leave the tip of the iceberg there. Because that's all that the audience needed to know. But then you read his books, they're so simple, but they feel so full and alive and lived in. But it's because he has written that, but he's just removed it. So we don't get to see it. You can see that? So he's created all of this, but all we're seeing is the top. It's fucking brilliant. So when I use it to write films, what I would do is I'd write a massive film. So let's say for a short film, all I would need is sometimes for a short film all I need is 10 scenes, right? Less than that even. I would maybe write 30 scenes and then I would remove loads that I don't think they need. But anyway, I do a step further. So with my cousin Ryan's film, because it's a book, he does a lot of, sometimes in books kind of explain emotions a lot, right? So I was like, well, we'll remove anything that's explaining emotion because we don't need that in the film. The picture will do that. But also, to keep things going, I'm going to just say, let's say this one scene here, something happens, right? So the guy might see something, or an action happens where he gets scared, right? So something spooked him, something real scary. Now he runs away, and he's running away to his house, but he runs to his house, he goes through his door, he runs up the stairs, gets into his bed, and then rings his friend and tells them about what happened. But then the next scene, he is actually at a black tie event, and he's still spooked from what's happened, but he's getting really drunk at the black tie event, all right? So let's say like the scary thing that happened was he saw like a ghost or whatever, who gives a fuck, right? But basically sees a ghost, runs home, runs over the fields, in through the door, up into the bed, rings his friend, tells him, I just saw a ghost. And then the next scene, then he's at the black tie event with his wife, right? Or his girlfriend or something, right? But it's much more interesting if we see something scary and then we cut out the other stuff. So he sees the scary thing. Ah! Now he's at the black tie event. You remove the middle bit. What happened between them? Why is he at a black tie event? What happened after he saw the scary thing? What happened? So it's the mystery. So by using the iceberg theory, we take out the middle thing. So if we can see that, we're taking out the middle part. And it's going from him seeing a fucking crazy weird ghost to him being at a black tie event. Which is fucking beautiful, because that's how you make it real. That's how you excite the audience. Because you're allowing them then, by removing the middle scene. You see here, we're removing the middle scene. By removing that, by us removing what we want to put there, you actually are allowing the audience to put something there. So they'll come up with their own idea. Why is he at the black tie event? What happened after he saw the ghost? Is he a ghost? Is he dead? What the fuck? So it just invites them in to start using their brain to start telling the story as well, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I was using the iceberg theory for filmmaking or for writing. It creates it more exciting, and it's mystery over meaning. That's what it's used for, to create mystery. Forget meaning. You don't need to back things up. You do for yourself. If you think something doesn't make sense in your film, you have to back it up yourself. But then remove it, because it doesn't need to make sense to the viewer. This, of course, is all what I think. And if you want to be a big Hollywood director, directing maybe the Marvel movies, then probably do something different. But if you want to have fun doing it yourself and having good crack creating art, do it this way. Thank you. All right, let's do another song. Did everyone catch that? Do you need me to explain that again? All right, this is a sea song for the goddess of the sea. As I walked to the dockside one evening so fair, to view the salt water and take the sea air, I heard an old fisherman singing a song. Anna, take me away, boys, me time is not long. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more for the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmate, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place hard to tell, where fishermen go when they don't go to hell. where the skies are all clear and the dolphins do play, and the cold coast of Greenland is far, far away. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more for the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmate, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green, where the skies are all clear and there's never a gale, and the fish jump on board with one swish of a tail, where you lie at your leisure and there's no work to do, and the skipper's below making tea for the crew. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more for the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmate, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. When you get back on docks and the land isn't true, and the pubs and the clubs and there's lassies there too, where the girls are all pretty and the beer is all free, and there's bottles of rum growing from every tree. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more for the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now I don't want no harp, nor halo, not me. Just give me the breeze and a good rolling sea. Play me old squeeze box as long as we sail, with the wind that is ringing to sing me a song, and wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more for the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Whoa! Fiddler's Green. An old sea song. That reminds me. It has been 1 year since we shot the first day of my film, Outer Heavens. So it's been a whole year. It's been a fantastic year for me. But first of all, creating the movie and really making something with all my friends and all those people that helped with the movie has been absolutely fucking phenomenal. From the writing part right up to now where we are in the editing, it's just been like, it's been this exploration of different ideas that we've had for years and different processes we've been doing for years, and it just feels like they've come at the right time. They're all peaking, and it's almost as if the universe is looking after us, or some sort of a spirit is looking after the film, because every single thing and every single decision that we've made so far has just worked out so well. We took big risks making the movie, you know, like I was saying about Squeeze movie earlier, where really focused on mystery over meaning. And that can be a kind of bold move to make when you're making your first movie, but for whatever reason, we were just like, fuck it, let's just do that mystery. We'll just be mysterious with it, right? And the second thing we've really focused on was plot, feeling over plot. So we really want to create a feeling. The feeling of the film is the most important part of the movie. In fact, the whole movie is a kind of a feeling. While there is a nice plot to the movie, I actually think it's a quite adventurous plot. It's kind of like, almost like a kind of a kid's adventure movie. It's kind of like, you know, Someone said to me it's like David Lynch and The Wizard of Oz mixed together, and I kind of feel like that. It is like that a little bit, or maybe The Goonies and David Lynch or something. But the main thing was creating a feeling that we felt that needed to be captured of what we like to create to represent the part of Ireland that we live in that is kind of not really represented a whole lot in film, because it's such a small place. Like, it's a really small leash and Offaly, it's tiny, so there's not many films made there, at least that explores the feeling of the area and the people and the landscape and the kind of myth and folklore as much as we did with Our Heavens. So Our Heavens is kind of a folklore mythical movie. It's this kind of spiritual film as well, and I guess it would be called surreal in a way too, but it all comes from a place of love. It's a warm movie, and there's a lot of warmth to it. And what's really strange is my daughter kind of summed it up, and she's only like 4. And I was thinking about what the movie was. And anyway, one day I said to her, what does love mean to you? And then she said to me, love is for when you're lost. And then I was like, whoa, that's really profound. And I wrote it down because she really like struck me. I find kids can teach you a lot, right? But that stuck with me, and now I kind of feel like that's what the movie is about. And I've learned that. And I've learned to stick to your instincts, stick to what you want to make, be true to yourself. Don't worry about what other people want you to make. It's about what you want to make, and it's about how much fun you have making it. It's creating a film that you find it fun to do. Like, it's been fun to all of us. None of us are like, oh, we may finish this movie now. We all think it's great crack. We all think it's great fun. So that's been the real thing. So it's just to stick to that. So basically for us, it's the main thing I learned is mystery over meaning. Every day, for everything I talked about, just like everyone that's watched little bits of the movie have their own idea what the film was about, and even I have my own idea, but I kind of allowed it to be separate to me, so I don't really know fully what it's about either, to tell you the truth, but I know that it came from what I wanted to make, and this is what it is. But it's kind of a living thing, so the mystery over meaning is just a huge part of it for me, and then the feeling over plot allows you to make things just feel like a world. Like when I'm editing it, I'm in that world. But anyway, listen, this is where we are on it. We are about an hour into the movie completed. All we have to do now is overdub certain parts of the dialogue and finish a little bit of the music. So the movie should be finished by, I would say, October. And then we're ready for festival season, which is going to be exciting because we pushed out the trailer to a lot of festivals just to say, like, we've made the movie, and it's been really good feedback. A lot of people were interested, like top tier festivals as well wrote back to me, which has never happened before. So yeah, here we are. That's a year after the first day recording Outer Heavens. That's where we are now. I'd like to thank all of you as well for it, because doing the YouTube and stuff, it got a really good community, like, and everyone is always asking about the movie. And you know, even around Port Arlington, everyone's interested in the movie and everyone's like excited about it. And that just gives us excitement too, you know. So without that, like, while you don't create stuff for other people, but when other people are excited about it, it makes you excited, you know, it gives you great energy. So I'd like to thank everyone for that as well. So there we are. So it should be finished October. Outer Heavens. If you want to see the trailer, go onto my page. It's on my little old page there. All right, guys, this is our last tune. And you know what? I'm dedicating this to Adam Sandler, because Happy Gilmore 2 was released last week, and Adam Sandler is a legend.
I wanna make you smile when you're feeling sad. Carry you around when your arthritis is bad. All I wanna do is grow old with you. I get you medicine when your tummy aches. Build you a fire when your furnace breaks. I could be so nice and growing old with you. And I miss you, kiss you, give you my coat when you are cold. Need you, feed you, even let you use the remote control. I let me do the dishes in your kitchen sink, put you to bed when you've had too much to drink. I could be the man who grows old with you. Wanna grow old with you.
Adam Sandler, Growing Old With You. A fucking belter of a song. Thank you very much for joining the Calvin Doyle Show.